guys, how's it hanging? First of all, I'm going to apologise for not uploading a video in a couple of weeks. Mainly it was because of the fact that it was Christmas, so I decided to take a break from making YouTube videos. And also because of the fact that while I was at home for Christmas, I left my tripod back there while I was supposed to be filming videos, which I never did. And yeah, because of that, I couldn't really set up right, and I've actually got a quite shitty setup on right now. I figured I wanted to film a video now. I was supposed to film one last week but never got the chance to, so I was gonna like, okay, let's film now, and yeah. Let's get into the video. I want to talk about my top 5 favourite Power Rangers series. I have not talked about my top 5 yet, and I figured I might as well get into it now. So, number 5 is Ninja Storm. I love the series of Ninja Storm because it was like the one Power Rangers series that actually was so chill. I'm pretty sure like, it's known as one of the most like chill Power Rangers series, and that's what I loved so much about it. Because like we had Shane, which is the Red Ranger, we had Tori, and we had Dustin, which I loved Dustin because he was the first Power Ranger character that I could actually relate to, because he was into comic books and he was nerd. Couldn't fully relate to him because he like learned how to ride dirt bikes and all that, and he was kind of a badass, but like he was a nerd. Just the fact that they're all kind of like really chilled back, and like they're all ninjas as well. We had the Ninja Academy. Of course we had like different characters come into it later with like the Thunderstorm Rangers, and like they were so cool. And also we had Cam as well, who was the Samurai Green Ranger. But it's just like, it was such a good series because like we had Lothar, which was the main big bad. He was like a really good villain, and each character I just loved the series overall, and just like it was so good. I just love ninjas. Like I love the movie Three Ninjas, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so just one series that I actually really love of Power Rangers. Number 4 is Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder was like, I'd say it was one of like the more memorable series for me because, well, come on, naturally we had Tommy come back in as the teacher of the 3 Rangers, and then he became the Black Dino Thunder Ranger with the Brachio, and I just loved that. The fact that they brought back Tommy into it like much later on in the series, it was so good. I just loved it so much because also you gotta love like Connor and Kira and Ethan, and then we had Trent come into it later as the White Ranger. Also it was the next Dino related series ever since Mighty Morphin, and then we had freaking Tommy come into it as the Black Ranger. You can't help but love it. And just you had Zeltrax and Mesogog. Yeah, it was just a really good series. Oh, can't forget about the theme song of Dino Thunder. Oh my god, it was like one of the most iconic Power Rangers theme song ever. It's just like, Power Rangers roar, there's light in the distance, see them coming closer. It's so good, just that song. And also I recently have started watching Aba Ranger, which is the Sentai version of it, and like the theme song of that doesn't come close to Dino Thunder, so that's one thing that Sentai didn't do as well as Power Rangers for once. Number 3 is Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy, the theme song of it is just so good. Rangers, lost galaxy, far, far away, deep in space, there's a power you will know. It's just so good. And just like when you watch that, it's just like, I gotta say, like it was like one of the series I remembered a lot as a kid, just to have the Rangers. Also the fact it was the first like series to kill off a Ranger in it, like that was so crazy. When they kill off Kendricks and you're like, and then they brought back freaking Astronomer, aka Corone, from in space to be the Lost Galaxy Pink after Kendricks died. That was so good. And also the fact that, come on, we can't forget the crossover with Lost Galaxy and In Space, which was the death of Kendricks, and also the crossover between Lightspeed Rescue and Lost Galaxy, which I think took place in Lightspeed Rescue. But yeah, it was so good. Also, because the fact is, also you just gotta say, I love the Quasar Sabers. Yeah, I got this Quasar Saber very recently, and I freaking love it. Just look at the Quasar Saber. It's like, it's a full-scale model of it. It's not steel, which I wish it was, but of course you wouldn't be able to buy it then if it was, but it's just so cool. Just look at it. The detail in it is just amazing. Just look at it. Love it so much. But yeah, I just love Lost Galaxy. As I said, it was one of the more memorable series of my childhood, and I just love all of it so far. Just Leo with the Red Ranger. Then number 2 is Lightspeed Rescue, another iconic theme song, like the Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue. The signal is calling, our planet is falling. The danger will test you. Better make it a Lightspeed Rescue. Yeah, it's just It's so good. And also just their villains was demon. Rather than aliens from space, they were demons. Like that came from, like they were all trapped inside a casket. And just that was what I loved. The fact that it was like most, like you think about Mighty Morphin, Turbo and In Space and Lost Galaxy all had aliens. And then we had Lightspeed Rescue, which was demons. But yeah, just Lightspeed Rescue, just the Zords and just the characters, and also the fact that they were, yeah, it was, I know is, you think about it, of course they were literally gone and paid to be Rangers, but the fact that each one weren't just random teenagers, they were all taken in. The Red Ranger, which was character, was a firefighter. Like just each character had, like, they had a background in like saving people or helping people, and that's what I loved about that. Because like even we had Dana, who was a freaking medic, and that's what you just gotta love about that. Also because the fact that they really like stuck well to the character profession of the Pink Ranger in the Sentai series, which was Go-Go 5, who she was actually a nurse herself. But yeah, it's just the series, and just it had the V-Lancers, and then also we can't forget about the fact that it was the first Power Rangers series to have an exclusive character, which was the Titanium Ranger. Like, if you actually look at it, Sentai never had the Titanium Ranger, so Power Ranger actually, it was the first exclusive Ranger that was only exclusive to the Power Rangers. I loved so much. Also because the fact that we had Ryan, who was the brother of Dana, and just, it was so cool. So number one, which I'm actually not going to mention right now because I'm going to do a few honorable mentions. So one honorable mention I'm going to talk about is Time Force, because a lot of people say Time Force was an iconic series, which it was, because we had Rancic as the villain, and it was the first thing which had villains from the future come back to the present day to kind of mess up the timeline, so in like basically the villains would be kind of better in the future and they could rule over in the future because the fact that they conquered the past. It was so good. Also, we can't forget about the fact that the characters of Wes and Eric, which was the one series that had two Red Rangers in it, which was the Quantum Ranger and the original Red Ranger. We saw in Forever Red the Quantum Ranger appeared, so he is technically a Red Ranger, and of course he was Sixth Ranger, but still. And also we can't forget about the Key-Rex. The Key-Rex was badass. Just, it was so good. And we cannot forget about Jen Taylor, because oh my god, the Wild Force crossover in that outfit, and her's a badass. It took like that Time Force and Wild Force for her to become the ultimate badass. And the other honorable mention is got to be freaking In Space, because it was literally such a good series. Like In Space, like it was a really good show, but, and also we all know this, everyone should know this, the fact that In Space was what saved Power Rangers, because Power Rangers was going to get cancelled after In Space. Everyone knew this, it was going to happen, but In Space got such good ratings that it got renewed for another series. So they were this close to being cancelled, and it was In Space that saved it, so that's why it had to get an honorable mention. And also we cannot forget about the iconic freaking last episode, which they killed off Zordon. Like, I watched Mighty Morphin from as a baby, so when you see like Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo, and then In Space, and you see Zordon being killed, really pulls your heartstrings. Like, you just being raised with Zordon, it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe they killed off Zordon, wiped out all of evil. Of course, then Lost Galaxy comes along, and villains are all alive again. I don't really get it, but whatever. Just the iconic ending of In Space, just, it was so good. Then we had like the fact that Corone became good from Astronomer to Corone. Yeah, also we can't forget about the Silver Ranger was a badass. I gotta say, probably like other than the White Ranger in that few seasons, I think that the Silver Ranger In Space was one of my favorites. Now we get into the final, like number one, which for, as I just talked about, it's gotta be Mighty Morphin, because Mighty Morphin it was the series that started it all. And like, of course, it's probably slightly because of nostalgic reasons, but it's just Mighty Morphin Power Ranger was like what started everything, and it was just like, it was so, like, they were so over dramatic, and it's just like every morph, like I always, like the thing is, I always say, if I see people doing like different morphs and stuff, and if they don't do it right, it's just like, if you gotta put some energy into your morphs, and that's what, like Mighty Morphin started off these like over dramatic morphs. It's just, oh, Mighty Morphin was so good, because especially since it got 3 seasons. Like we had Mighty Morphin, we had season 2 where they got the Thunder Zords. Maybe it was season 1 that the Thunder Zords was involved. Come on, we had like so many different characters that get switched over. Like we had Tommy come in as the Green Ranger, then he became the White Ranger. Then we had like Trini, Zack, and Jason all switch their powers over to Rocky, Aisha, and Adam. And we had freaking Kimberly give her powers over to Cash. And just also got about Ninja! I think I just love Ninja so much because he was such an overdramatic ninja! And we also had different Zords come in. We had like the original dinosaurs, which was the Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops. Saber-tooth tiger wasn't a dinosaur, but we kind of still put it in there. We had the Dragon Zord, we had Mastodon, we had the Pterodactyl. Like they were the original Zords. And the fact that they came together to form the Megazord, and then we also got the dragons like mixed with the Megazord, and then we had the Ultra Zord where it had Thor come into it. Mighty Morphin, it just hits it right there. Mighty Morphin was the series that started off for me because like I watched it as a baby because like, my brother would watch it and I would be put next to him and I would watch the show, and I've loved it ever since because of the fact it started off my love for Power Rangers. It's always going to be my top one no matter what.
After 10,000 years I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Alpha, Reader's Escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
Tell me your top 5 down below because I'd love to see what everyone else is, because it's probably going to be a lot more different compared to mine. I mean, I started off with Mighty Morphin and then kind of went on from there, and a lot of people kind of start off at different times. Also, I'd love to know what the series that got you into loving Power Rangers. As I said, Mighty Morphin was that for me. I remember watching Zeo more than Mighty Morphin because of course I was a baby back when Mighty Morphin started, but I still just love Mighty Morphin that much more because I watched the Mighty Morphin as growing up as well, and it's still so good. And also definitely the Mighty Morphin movie, that is my favorite film of all time. I don't care who knows it, I love Mighty Morphin movie. Just the Ninjetti Rangers and just Dulcia, and just the CGI was really good for its time. No one can deny that. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week in another video. Bye! See you later.